Welcome, everyone. I'm the editor-at-large for the Conscious Evolution Journal. And in this interview, I have the immense pleasure of interviewing RoseAnn Janzen, the founder, editor, and publisher of the Conscious Evolution Journal. And today, we're going to talk about a very interesting subject, the subject of postures. And I was just asking RoseAnn whether in English, postures also mean playing a role, taking up a role. And we decided we were going to start right there. So thank you, RoseAnn, for being with me today.
Oh, thank you, Isabelle. It's so nice to see you again and to be able to talk about all these things. I am really, at first I was a little bit, what am I going to say about postures? And then all of a sudden, all kinds of stuff started coming in. And yeah, taking up roles, posturing in society. And really, when you look at it, we posture like a rooster, right? Like we posture ourselves all the time to sort of rank ourselves, like our like you see it in with horses and other herd animals, that their place in society, they're posturing themselves, and then maybe they want to move forward a bit and they have to change their posture to do that. And it strikes me as like your physical posture. When you change your physical posture, your brain changes and your thoughts change and your actions change. Like, this is such a broad category that is fascinating.
It is actually, it's amazing. I agree with you. At first, I wasn't really sure about where to start, and now I'm like being flooded with ideas. And when you were talking about postures and animal, it makes me think of these competitions. For example, dog breed competitions where they have to place the paws in a certain way and the head in a certain way to be able to win the first place. I'm like, oh yeah, well, humans do that too, don't they?
They do, absolutely, right? And it's like the people who do it really well learn the rules and then play the rules, right? And I can't help wondering, now that we've had this pause, and I'm sure there's more of it to come and more changes to come, and the energies that are coming into the earth right now, and the changes are phenomenal. And I can't help but thinking that it's all going to change. All this funny posturing and ranking of ourselves, it's going to change. And I want to say, instead of posturing, the focus, I think, should be, and I think it will be, on aligning ourselves to our true being, to who we really are, will be much more important than posturing for position in the world.
Yeah, so living a life without posture, just living with our true self. That's
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting too, if I connect it to alignment, when we think of our physical posture, like our spine, we talk about aligning our spine, right? When our spine is perfectly aligned, we stand up tall, we move easily and effortlessly, like it all works. And I think that's where we're going as a species.
Oh, that would certainly be wonderful. There is this whole idea that you have to be this or that to get ahead in life, right? To succeed. So if you can have a wonderful, meaningful life by just being yourself, that must make it much easier and a lot less pressure for a lot of people.
Yeah. We have, it seems to me, we have created such a false structure and a difficult structure where I was watching a show on TV the other night, and it was about Gabrielle Island, or I think that's the name of it, Gabrielle Island, off the west coast here, and all the artisans there, and how like the island is pretty much self-contained, where you can buy handcrafted goods from local artisans. And it seemed to me that, it doesn't matter how many people there are on the world, or how many potters, or how many chefs, or how many gardeners, or how many lawyers, or how many of anything. We all need everything. And it can be self-sustaining, right? And everybody who has, if we actually followed, instead of, like the push when I was growing up, like be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an accountant, like those were the big three, right? That's what you should be, because then you'll be okay. You'll make money. You'll be fine. Turns out not true, but if we actually encourage people to pay attention to what they naturally desire and naturally want and naturally are good at and create, that we will naturally fit our place in the world that actually serves everyone, and everyone serves us. Like I
Sure. And then there is no need for postures, because
right.
it's just not there needed.
Yeah. It's just being ourselves, being aligned, and instead of a whole bunch of false posturing, right? And really, when you think about it, false posturing is going after something false, right? If it was really true to you, would you have to?
Yeah, you wouldn't call it posture to start with.
Yeah.
And but now we're talking about a thorough societal change here, because I don't think there's any area in society today where posture doesn't apply. And obviously, what comes to my mind is also all the social media, which is a lot about posture and role playing, and how many friends do you have, and how many likes do you have, and how many pictures have you posted, and so on and so on.
And becoming an influencer.
Yeah, becoming an influencer. I mean, if this is not posture, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And getting paid for it, for some of them really well.
Yeah.
So, there's like an encouragement there.
Absolutely.
To keep going, definitely.
Yeah.
And if you tell a bunch of young adults or ready to go and choose their studies or whatever, and you tell them, oh no, what you want to do is just be yourself and go for what you truly believe in. And I'm not sure everyone is going to enjoy your speech. Unfortunately, not yet.
Probably not. No, a lot of mothers might be angry. Parents.
Parents very upset.
Yeah. But I always wanted that in school, right? I always wanted someone to help me get in connection with that. To like, when people would say, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a fireman, or do you want to be a teacher, or a nurse, or a doctor, or and it was like, no, no, I don't want any of that. But there was no category that fit. And so I think if we actually did have a world shift, there wouldn't be such narrow categories, right? Like there was such a push towards professionalism and the downplaying of trades. And yet, it was like the smart kids would go to the academic side or the professional side, and the not so smart would do the trades. But that's totally false. It's absolutely false.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because the smartest people I know, the most intelligent and most creative people I know are in the trades. And the more some people also in the professions, but many of them are stifled in the professions because that's not really what they wanted anyway.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure. So that's one aspect of posture is this other persona, or this other life that is not yours. And then we brushed upon the posture, the physical posture, how the movements that you make with your body and the way you hold your body and the posture that you can take with your body can enhance your energy, enhance your creativity, enhance your attention span. There are marvelous things that you can do with your body if you want. And you know, I was thinking yoga is all about postures, right?
yeah.
And each posture has there is a purpose.
Yes, exactly. I hadn't actually thought about that, but one of the things I noticed over my life was, you know, as people got older, they got stiffer, and then they had all kinds of, you know, posture problems, right? And I always thought, you know, that people stop moving. They stop using their body, and so of course they get stiff and everything gets out of whack. But yeah, you know, if more people did things like yoga or Tai Chi or any of the martial arts or anything, learning to use your body again in many ways, not just in one way, to flex all the joints, and I mean that opens you right away, just getting things moving again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do find it interesting the link between, you know, movement and purposeful postures and the freedom that you get, the energy that you get when you can move your body freely and purposefully, also allows you to be yourself, your true self.
Right. And for longer.
And for longer.
Yeah,
For as long as you
because you see, well, I see my mother is in a retirement village, and I see she's a very active, but I see so many people there that, you know, like they just have given up. They don't.
but there is the belief also, there is this crazy belief that when you get older, you get stiffer, you move less. I mean, sort of like as if posture issues and ailments is like inevitable.
But okay, I see, you know, on TV and stuff, and reading and pictures of people in Italy, you know, 70, 80, 90-year-olds riding their bike, like walking to the store, doing things. You don't see that here. It's
Oh, okay, yeah. In Europe, in different parts of Europe, you can have that, and also they take gym classes and yoga classes, and you know they trek, they go all over the place. They're yeah, it can be quite active, which
yeah,
is great.
yeah, absolutely. Like, why would you stop?
This is a great way of looking at posture, as in body posture and all that it can bring you, all the joy and fulfillment that can bring you to, definitely. What are other aspects of postures do you see, RoseAnn?
I was thinking, like there's the whole psychology of posture and the subtle changes in the subtle body language, right? And so just how you posture when you meet someone, like if you have a smile, or if you're closed down, or you're open to them, or like you can hug without even hugging, right? You can, it's all an energetic
Yeah,
posture.
non-verbal communication,
Yeah,
non-verbal posture communication.
yeah,
Yeah, it's true. It's really important, isn't it?
it is absolutely. And if you take that one step further, in that you have the capacity, you have the capability of being able to move energy. And so that also is a form of posture, right? Whether you expand your energy or you contract your energy. And when you contract it, your body also contracts. And when you expand it, your body expands. And the same thing with your brain, with your eyesight, your visual field, everything expands. And so posture isn't just about body or, position in society. It's way more than that, I think. And so you work with children too. So how do you see posture and structure with children?
So clearly, there are several things that come up. The first one is you can see in the way they play. So children do a lot of role playing, right? And they dress up and they play these different roles, and it's very interesting. It's very good for them to be able to take on postures just for fun to see how that feels. I would love to see more of when they grow up, them being themselves and see how that feels. And so having parents remind the growing children that it's not necessary to actually take on a posture as in role. You can also just be yourself and it's just fine. That's one thing. And coming up in teen years, that's like really obvious how they take on roles and the way they interact with each other. I mean, it's completely insane how they are not themselves, right? They're so scared that they're not going to be enough if they're just themselves. And that is really, really screaming at me when I meet these kids or young adults. And that's what they often need help with. They just go back to basics and be confident that who you are is enough, and that's just fine. You don't have to be anything else. There's such pressure from peers and parents and their environment to perform and to be this and to be that it's quite difficult for them to grasp the fact that it's enough for them to be just themselves. Mm-hmm. And then there's the posture I see, the physical posture, the way kids and teens actually hold themselves. Many teens, I'm sure you've seen, they're like sort of hunched, and that's also a lot of times how they feel about themselves, and sometimes how they feel about life too, unfortunately. So there's a whole work there that can be done about opening up to life, opening up to positive things, and have the energy in the body flow again. Mm-hmm. And I work a lot with kids and children that have attention issues also, so we can actually do postures to improve that. But there's clear link between how they feel about themselves and how they carry their body or uncarry their body. Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's really.
I was, the other day, I was remembering a young man that I had worked with at one time. We were all about the same age there. And when I first met him, he was very much sort of the really smart, glasses, but in inner person, right? And he walked hunched over, and he was shy and quiet, And then one day he came in and his posture was changed, his clothing was changed, everything changed about him. And it was like in the span of a week, he'd taken a week off and completely converted himself to this person who was going places and doing things. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just a
Amazing.
choice. It was just a choice. Complete change of everything. And then I think of myself as a teenager, which was, you know, in the 70s, way back. But, you know, we all had long hair, long straight hair. And I always, you know, I would cover as much of my face as I could be. I didn't want to be seen.
Mm.
And once I got past that and got used to having the hair off my face, now I can't, it bothers me to have hair on my face, like even bangs. I can't, nope. I'm not going back.
I agree, but it bothers me too, and I totally relate to the everything hanging in front.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of advice would you want to give to someone who's been listening to us or watching us and you know, reflecting about posture, you know, on, you know, how they show up in their life?
I think you hit on a really, really important thing, was for people to actually become aware of how their own energy feels and to become comfortable with themselves before trying on other personas, right? Like we as humans, we have the capacity to change, like quickly, like I just said about this young man.
Yeah.
We actually can choose whatever we want to be, and we can bring things in and let the old go. We're not static. We have the ability to change everything about ourselves. And so becoming aware of your base, your core energy, and how that feels and how right that feels. And then you can evaluate other energies when you try them on, you know, like, oh yeah, no, that one's not for me, right? Or, you know, this one would be a good fit for me if I want to do this. Or, you know, you become aware of your choices. It's not letting other people make your choices, right? You become aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when you become aware of what you're doing, you have control of your life, right?
Yeah, true. Our beliefs direct our thoughts. Our thoughts direct our emotions, and our emotions direct our life. Our actions are our life. Absolutely, I'm a firm believer of that.
Yes.
And I like the way what you're saying is that we all have that choice to make those changes. So if you know, you want to be yourself and you don't want to be in a posture of, you know, a role, or if you want to show up, yeah, differently in your life, then it's possible to change.
Yeah. And that, yeah. And you just, you know, help clarify that, you know, like if you're first aware of your own core energy, you become aware of when you're taking on a false role, right? Whereas many people think that, oh, this is who I am. Like
Yeah.
they have this persona that is built up over time, and they think it's set. That's
Yeah.
it. This is who I am. I can't change. You know, I could try, but you know, it always reverts back. It's so not true, right?
Yeah, it's right. But okay, that being said, many people do not like change. They are really adverse to change, which is crazy because when you look at it, I mean, your cells grow and change every day. The universe grows and changes every day. I mean, change is inherent part of our life and of who we are.
Yeah,
It's we're not designed to be set in, you know, stone, in any way, shape, or form. So
that's
it's
exactly right. And science has shown that the universe itself The cosmos itself is constantly expanding. And so if you're not changing, if you're not adapting and adjusting, you're going backwards. Everything else is going forwards and you're going backwards.
Yeah.
You're not just staying in place. You're actually going backwards. So embracing change is really important. And if you stay stuck on, I don't know where that comes from, but you know, it seems to me that each generation is becoming less stuck. And I think it's because, well, a lot is because we get to see other cultures and see how things are done here. And as much as social media has its problems, it also gives us a view into the world that we never had before.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think with the current information technology, really, like you say, allows us to have such a wider picture. And so instead of having a small view of just, you know, your town, like you, your family, your town, and maybe your country, and then you know it's like a world broad view.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and more perspectives, you know, like you're not limited to just what the news is feeding you and, you know, who's controlling the news and on in that vein. But now, you know, you get, okay, this happened and this seems to be the result. And then somebody else brings some more information to light. And you know, you have to weed through the false information too, but now much more information comes up from all over the place, and then it helps you to be able to think for yourself, right?
if you want.
If you want, yeah. And
Definitely.
realize that everything you hear initially is not the whole story.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you don't have to be in the posture of a victim or a loser or a miserable person all your life. That's just not set. You can also choose other things and have fulfilled and feel content and happy and grateful. But there is a clear choice here. So, and there is a clear choice about, as you're saying, going through information and seeing, you know, like, do I want to take everything that I'm being fed, or do I want to try to figure out for myself what I keep and what I leave out?
Yeah. And to go a little bit further on that vein, once we get past our own posture of I am this way, and you know, I talk about being the observer and looking at your as if you know you're outside looking at your life, gives you a different perspective, and then you can actually see on the past things that have happened in your life, and you chose one interpretation of it and you attached an emotion to that. And when you become the observer, you can look at it and you can see a different perspective of that and attach a different emotion or different thoughts, different feelings to it than the original. And you completely change your whole physiology and your whole neural network when you do that. And
yeah, absolutely. It's actually quite amazing how we can rewire our brains and recreate pathways if we just switch on or off something. And it's true. We have the capacity of looking back, like you say, as an observer and seeing that also there are other ways of reacting to an event. And we all know that it's how we react to the event, how the emotion that we attach to the event that determines you know what we it's our interpretation that determines how we the emotions that we have around an event. There is this image of two children by the shore, and there's this wave that comes and washes over the kids, and one laughs and one cries, and that's this is simplistic, maybe sound, but that's the truth. So it's also up to us to realize that. And in one sense, we could say that one chose the posture of crying and the other one chose the posture of laughing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we actually choose how we react to events.
Absolutely.
I think in that sense, we could say that posture could actually become quite positive. Like in if you don't know how it feels to be truly you, at least you can take on the posture of someone who feels great, has fun, is serene, happy, peaceful, and whatever it is that you wish for. At least it will take you in the right direction, right?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's really interesting too when we talk about our perspectives and posture from that perspective. This year has been interesting for me because like the first 6 months, things just were falling away, and it felt like everything was being taken away. And I got into deep emotion over that. And even while I was in it, I was like, this is stupid. And then all of a sudden, my perspective changed. And I realized that it was the false stuff that was going away that I really didn't care about. But it was that layer of posturing, societal posturing, was going away. And the stuff that I really wanted was coming forth and was coming into my life big time. And it was like all of a sudden, as soon as I realized that, it was like, yes, yay. But it's just a shift, right? It's a shift in your mental posture.
Yeah.
So which one are you going to choose?
The brain yoga.
Yeah, exactly.
Posture.
I like that brain yoga. This also brings us around to this issue of the Conscious Evolution Journal. The third issue is about the third chakra, which is about choosing. It's the chakra where the actual transformation takes place, and you choose between crying because the wave hit you, or laughing because of the joy of the wave hitting you.
Oh, I love that. I love that how you connected that to choice, posture to choice. That's wonderful. It's and it is in our life, I think one of the most essential gift that we can give ourselves is the gift of choice.
Yes, I agree. And it's time, right? It's long due.
Long due, yes, long due. I think most of our viewers and listeners are going to agree, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, wonderful.
This has
been such a wonderful conversation, RoseAnn. Thank you so much for this time together. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think we managed to cover quite a bit of ground.
Yes, we did.
As we always do, of course. Yeah, it's wonderful being able to talk to you again and to have these conversations, and I hope that they spark conversations in other people, and to look at how things are and how things could change. And
yeah, give them that little extra nudge to choose differently if they feel that they want more than what they have today in their lives, for sure. That's my wish too.
Awesome.
So until next time, where we share some more exciting conversations. Keep well, everyone. Lots of love.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.